still also want to be able to peel for Farsa, for Super Friends a little bit.
Okay. And now, there goes the Revitalize. You previously mentioned both roamers have their hands on it. But for our gold laners here, it's Kelra who decides that he wants to still pick up the Purify. Nonetheless, going up against Aurora. So this is it. This is game number 3. Who among these two teams will take the win in this star match?
Grand Finals rematch. What can you expect but a game number 3? Winner takes all. And right now, I just have to ask, is Hylos honestly a viable option for the roam?
It's an EXP Cho, by the way.
Oh,
and yeah, Hylos roam is definitely a thing, considering that I think both of them decided to go for Revitalize in the center of the map to supplement their mid laners a little bit more. Oh.
Wait, Dom is so low.
Yeah.
That's a quick rotation coming in from Brusco too, by the way.
We're going to have to see how Kirk will be handling it. It seems like Edward will be behind in terms of the rotation.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy with the emblems as we saw it. So we might be waiting up until the first turtle to see some action happen all throughout the map. No little things that'll eventually compound into a big thing in terms of the minion wave manipulation, but Kirk is getting out of lane more frequently compared to the Edith.
Yeah, and Demon Kite's probably still taking his time. In the meantime, farming, and not unless he is accompanied by his other members too. Although you really would want to play aggressively in the early game as much as possible with this lineup. But it seems like all routes are being closed or watched by Onyx Philippines right here.
They're putting a lot of pressure onto Aurora, especially onto the river. And again, the mobility that Kirk has clearly is working wonders for them. Just Aurora is out of position for the very first turtle fight.
Yeah, Edward's already level 4. Kirk has to go to the minions first. This might actually be good for Aurora. The Onyx Philippines are still very close to hand. Counter for Stomach.
Oh, Zaman forced Stomach not yet level 4 and Kelra wins it.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
I can hear it already. Solo kill. Oh, but they're looking to extend their lead. Here comes a Demon Kite. The Spear of Alka gonna connect on to Kirk, and they're gonna burst down Brusco. Super Friends with the Feather Airstrike to zone away Aurora as Onyx trades instead for the turtle.
Brusco with his own, but looks good for Aurora. They can keep going forward.
Yep, they get a kill on the bottom lane. Another kill too, but that's traded. But they also have the turtle. So clearly, Onyx are leading so far, but that was a great showing from Aurora MLBB as well. There's this presence of mind, nonetheless, from Edward, regardless of that current or the previous situation which we've seen him go through, where Kirk was seemingly unstoppable in managing the waves. Oh, wait!
Oh, almost an off-cam kill there, but Kelra caught in the middle. Pops his Zaman, force one more hit onto Yue. As Onyx is trying to work on Renegade. Here comes 3-man rotation from Aurora to finally bring down the God in the gold lane, and the TPs coming in from the Northern Lights.
A little bit too deep was Kelra.
Kirk!
Kirk got taken out. That was a
solo?
win.
Another solo kill?
Okay, Onyx are overheating right now after the initial salvo. Onyx are getting outplayed by Aurora, but Super Friends with the clapback.
Sidestep from the Monster Mage! Takes down Yue onto the middle lane. And another response from Onyx.
Look at all those angles.
Whoa!
I'm tilting. I don't know where to look at anymore, but we have the dragon.
Oh, Kirk gonna connect, but here comes Jim with the glorious pathway. Will he be able to save out Demon Kite? Demon Kite's gonna fall down and hands him Kirk.
The best way to show respect is a bit of disrespect as Brusco jumps away in the face of the Hitman.
So unlike the first two games, it seems like this is a not-so-Filipino game we're seeing for game number 3.
Now this is still Filipino, man. What you talking about? This is just what I called in SPS, MLB before the streets.
I mean, I do agree with what you're saying, because right now, 4 minutes, 30 seconds in, already 4-3. A lot of isolated clashes to the point that even our cameraman can't even catch every single kill.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay attention to all the 1v1s going on all around the map. Unfortunately, we are supposed to see something happen here in the bottom lane since everyone is here in the turtle pit.
Brought kind of low by Dom and Kai. This should be good for Aurora. Keller will be put a little bit in the red. This is a very small advantage. Advantage for them.
But everyone, look at everyone just positioning themselves really well around the turtle, but Aurora currently has hold of it. Oh, there goes the AOG!
AOG elevates, but it's not going to connect onto any member of Aurora. Renegade going to the back line, forcing us. The wings by wings on the Super Prince. Yui goes in with the manipulation. The revitalizers there coming in from Brusco. Here comes Kelra though. Zaman Force going to bring down Demon Kite once again, but wants to go for more. Going to try and bring down Edward. Marklo will be taken down, but Mr. Consistent. Demon Kite flickers in to bring down Brusco. Demon Kite flickers in to bring down Brusco and Kelra. He pops his Purify, but it's not enough because Demon Kite, the next standard, is here.
Onyx did not overheat. They started that off great, but Aurora, a hell of a response to make sure that Onyx will get humbled.
Yeah.
Aurora in the lead. They break the middle tower. 6 minutes in, this is looking good for the Northern Lights.
That was a 3-for-1 trade. And Onyx Philippines, although they were able to still get the turtle in the end, you can see just how much of an advantage Aurora was able to secure with that. Renegade, he was just so focused on Super Prince. And Dominkite, he was so confident to fight up against two members who were already on low HP against Onyx Philippines. So now clearly, the lead is in Aurora's hands.
It's a macro trade now with Aurora and Onyx both giving each other their first towers in the bottom and the top lane, the far lanes. Dominance Ice already built up for the Edith alongside the Dreadnought armor, and I think that Dominance Ice is actually what's giving a little bit of a problem for Onyx PH, or what will give them a problem. Good call as well to build up the Dreadnought armor and not full build it into the anti-Cuirass. You're helping against the damage output of King Kong.
If you just notice Renegade using the Glorious Pathway, not necessarily to start the fight, but to force Onyx out of position as Aurora will try to get the top lane turret. That's good use, honestly, of Glorious Pathway.
He's just blocking the way.
Yeah.
He's just making sure that Onyx isn't able to position themselves really, really well across the map, but they still get to take down the tier 1 turret. Oh, there's another fight!
Oh, Yui got blasted down in the hands of King Kong. Now they're trying to go for more, but Dominkite answers right back to bring down Brusco. A double kill for the King of the Jungle, but Demon Kite claps back once again. Edward shuts down the God in the gold lane, and a double kill for Demon Kite. Renegade making sure Super Prince can't walk away, and the wipeout for the Northern Lights.
The gods can only stare at Aurora as the light might just be blinding them a little bit too much. Aurora are respecting the team fight prowess of Onyx, and they are just out techniquing the world champions.
it feels like they're able to last so much longer whenever there's a team fight. Edward too is performing exceptionally well on this Edith.
Yep.
It feels like even when Onyx Philippines constantly tries and attempts to take him down, they use up so much of their resources only to find out that he can fight much more longer and that they can buy much more time for his teammates too. And I feel like even if there was so much attention onto Edward, it's not really working in their favor.
And that's exactly what we said in the draft earlier. Aurora is built for the longer team fights. When you have the Edith and Granger together, that's what you're good at. While for Onyx Philippines, they're very dependent on the Farsa having the ultimate, on the Harith having the ultimate as well. Their only main option for extended team fights is actually just the Suyo, which will have a difficult time going up against an Alpha.
Yeah, they don't have much of sustain.
Yeah, and not just, dependent on the ultimates, dependent also to the positioning, because so far Renegade has been phenomenal in chasing down Super Prince. It happened like 3 consecutive times. That's why Aurora, now they have a lead, a 3K gold lead. And I mean, when was the last time you saw Onyx got wiped out like this?
Yep. Each and every single time Onyx tries to go for it, it's either Aurora is ready, they're able to respond immediately to Brusco, and it's very unfortunate when Brusco goes in with the AOG and finds himself in the middle of everyone, and where he suddenly realizes that his other members are being blocked off either by the Glorious Pathway or, as he's mentioned, by Renegade. So it's not really as well coordinated for Onyx Philippines whenever they try to engage in a fight. So hopefully we see more of that now that they're in the defensive side.
One of the difficult things right now that Onyx has to deal with is that, again, the Edith of Edward has been one of their biggest thorns to their side. Just completed the Athena shields. It's going to be even harder to take that Edith down. Again, this is a lineup brought out by Onyx Philippines that is very dependent on the burst magic damage of the Harith and the Farsa together. King Kong can only do so much as the main source of physical damage in this lineup.
Yep. He also doesn't have the Holy Crystal yet for Kelra, so that's probably another thing we have to consider for Onyx Philippines, similar to what we've seen earlier in the series. So what are they going to do? Brusco, Kirk is looking to probably come from a different angle, but Aurora, they're paired up really well. They're positioned really, really well around the Lord Pit.
It honestly has to come from Kirk, has to come unexpected, because again, Brusco AOG, not a good main initiator. Ulti, if you're up against a very mobile lineup coming in from Aurora, especially they have the Glorious Pathway. So Kirk and Keller, their positioning right now should pay off if they want to win this game.
It should. Who are they going to find?
Oh, double man knockoff from Kirk!
Go!
When Dominkite burst him down, here comes Renegade with the chase on to the Glorious Pathway onto Brusco. As a King Kong trying to work on Edward Brusco though! Defensive AOG! Dominkite will get the Lord. Onyx only lost Kirk, but Aurora also got the Lord.
It was an expensive attempt to try and save Kirk there and try to deal with the offensive approach of Aurora. This is only the first Lord